I would say I grew my businesses to a point over the first 6 months where they basically plateaued. A little bit of growth over the last 3 years until I started the coaching, and then it's gone.
Hi there, this is Coach Jay with Full Circle Coaching Consulting, and I'm here with Erik Thorlickson today. So, Erik, if you wouldn't mind sharing a little bit about your experience with the Full Circle, and we talked a lot about values. Just in your words, some of the experiences that you've had recently with the coaching process.
Yeah, absolutely. So I would say from a starting point, looking at those core values and figuring out who I am has been such a huge part of contributing to the growth of my business. And bringing me as a person out authentically into my practice has been awesome. So it's been a huge growth experience for me.
You're a talented musician. So would you talk about how you've kind of brought family, chiropractic, music, because three of your top values, how you've kind of brought those together in that process?
Yeah. And so working through that part of the process was interesting because I had no idea how you were trying to draw that out, how music was going to fit into my business. And so I remember the day on my intake form where I asked people, hey, where'd you hear about me? And the guy wrote in there, hey, you play some awesome guitar. That's awesome. So he already knew coming in who I was and a piece of me. So you talked about that, the red rope and letting people into your office. And I think it gives people a better idea who I am and, how I can connect with people so that I can better help them chiropractically. And that's that piece of the puzzle, which, was missing for me.
And so the process that we went through, we said, okay, well, family's a high value and you like to be out playing guitar with your family and being part of music with your family, and you love seeing families in your chiropractic practice. And so those two kind of fit separately, but how can they all be together? And then we just had to do a brainstorm. Together, we decided to have you do a brainstorming thing, and there came all these ideas of ways that you can incorporate music with your office, with your family, and marketing specifically. And that shift, what does that shift then felt like for you?
The shift, it's putting business in a sense of ease and happiness. So I'm excited to do those things, and it doesn't become a chore to. There's always going to be the hard things that are less exciting to do in a business, but as a whole picture, this has made it so much easier to get excited about growth and get excited about getting out there and having fun with it.
Well said. And if you'd speak, because this is investment of your time, it's investment of your finances, would you speak a little bit to that piece also, Erik, and the return on your investment here? And I should be clear with folks. You say business, but it's businesses because you've got two chiropractic offices. So if you'd speak a little bit to those variables.
Yes, two businesses. I would say I grew my businesses to a point over the first 6 months where they basically plateaued. A little bit of growth over the last 3 years until I started the coaching, and then it's gone up, which has been awesome. Busiest month in June ever, and like we were saying before, through the summer. Where typically I see a bit of a dip, especially in June, and to have my best month ever on record, I'm pretty stoked.
That's no accident.
Yeah, for sure.
Best months ever, I think, your summer months, and as we get into common expansion time, which is usually the fall time, I'm really excited to see what's going to trickle down recently in your practice and all this recent energy moving into the future.
Yeah,
so,
for sure. Yeah.
Maybe you could speak a little bit to the challenges and recent challenges that you've had. Do you want to speak to any of that stuff also, Erik, for folks? Because life is, you're going to get challenges along the way. And how the coaching process has helped you with challenges.
Life throws you a bunch of crap. Can I say that on here?
Sure.
And and to have the support to work through it is huge. Some of these things that have just been a roadblock and just killed me in my tracks of any progression, and to have you to kind of work through that, it's been huge. So, that stuff's always going to be there. And so to have you kind of guide me through it, it's been nice. Yeah, for sure.
And I want to be really clear that this isn't any sort of magic formula that I've got. I'm not sort of any super great coach, although I appreciate that little piece, Erik, the real beauty. There's such a great entrepreneur inside of everybody. And I think the difference with you, and if you're watching this thinking about kicking the tires on coaching, you got to be willing to show up and do the work and make yourself vulnerable and open yourself up to the possibility of growth, letting go of some of these old subluxation patterns and blocks that have been there for years and years and years. And so the reason why this works is because Erik's open to living through his value system. He's open to being inspired. And I don't want to say that there's no work involved, but it's not like this, like, I just got to get up and get ready to work, because it's inspired comes from within, not from without. Is it a fair assessment?
Absolutely, yeah. And I think because it focuses so much more on finding out who I am and growing on that and being more confident with the person that I'm coming into my office being, as opposed to fitting into that, in other experiences that I've had, fit into that cookie cutter approach, and that just didn't do it for me. So this has been such a refreshing approach to figuring out who I am, applying that into my own practice, and then seeing the benefit almost immediately with it.
The number that we use frequently for Full Circle is 347%. For every dollar you invest, 347% of that dollar comes back. Fair to say that number you've met or exceeded or come close to that number, Erik?
I would have to look back at that number, but definitely I think I'm along that path.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
And not to mention all the things that you can't measure, right? The time with your wife and your family and organization. And obviously Michelle's been a great support to you, but the level of connection, I think, in your family, it's been nice to see that piece that you can't measure grow also. So
totally. Yeah.
Thoughts for anybody who's thinking about kicking the tires with Full Circle or coaching here, Erik?
Jump in. It's been awesome.
Cool.
Yeah, life-changing, game changer, and I really appreciate it.
Thanks, Erik.
What that's done for me.
We appreciate you.
Awesome.